Hey, what's up, everyone? I am Mike, aka Eureka22422, and welcome to my YouTube. I will be recording a video with Doomsday content every Thursday, so like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you're interested in seeing my weekly videos so you don't miss them. I am going to dabble into different versions of Doomsday and really just go through kind of playing leagues with lists that I am playing currently or that I'm exploring. Also, there will be a link below to my Patreon. Feel free to go check that out with additional content such as sideboard maps that I keep updated, challenges, tournaments I'm playing, targeted testing towards specific matchups, and just overall information on Doomsday if you're looking to level up your game. Really excited to be extending this journey and continuing to make some awesome content. And feel free to leave comments below with any feedback you have to help me keep improving. All right, welcome back for another video. I actually have to finish up a league here with the Blue-Black Tempo Wasteland Doomsday, so I'm going to finish up the last match. We're playing for a trophy, and then I'm going to play another league. So this is a celebration. It's BNR Day, and Tamiyo didn't get the axe, so we get to continue playing some Tempo Doomsday. Super excited, so let's hop into this trophy match. Let's see if we can take it down, and then we'll play one more league and just a little celebration video. So hope you guys enjoy this. It should be fun. All right, we're up against Cool Guy O. I don't know what they play. We are on the play. Let's see what we can do. This hand's not great, but it has a Force of Will, a Way into the Pile, a Surveil to help find a blue card, so I think I'm going to keep it. In a pinch, I could Surveil and cycle for Force of Will. I don't think I'm going to do that, but in a pinch, we could. They mulligan to 6. Let's just play out Flooded Strand. Looks like energy. Yep, let's Surveil. We're just looking for fast mana to win the game right now. That's not good. This resolves. We can brainstorm here looking for Dark Ritual. There's the Dark Ritual and Force of Will backup. So we'll Doomsday with Force of Will backup. And they can only Wasteland us once, so we can just cycle into a win here. Okay, this seems fine. We'll put Thassa, Ponder, Consider, Street Wraith, LED, and pass the turn. We'll take our 1. Probably get Wastelanded here. Expected that. We'll just cycle off of this just because we're going to do it anyway. We'll Cavern on Wizard. We'll pay 2 life, crack this for blue. Draw Consider. Mill Ponder. And then cast an uncounterable Thassa. All right, we got game number 1 versus Energy in the trophy match. We didn't see black yet. It doesn't mean they don't have it. I like Fawns in this matchup for Deafening Silence. I like the removal spells. And then that's about it. I don't like Murktide Regents. Bowmasters are fine because they're removal plus help with clock. We can cut a Wasteland. Dazes on the draw are a little bit sus, and 1 Thoughtseize is probably unnecessary. So we can go down to 1 Daze and just send this back. Let's see. So this matchup, I actually just made a post today. I'm doing a Doomsday tip of the day. And this matchup, they typically have Deafening Silence, like I said, which is why I bring in Fawn. They also have Pyroblasts. So we do need to consider, like, sometimes an empty pile unearthing Thassa's Oracle is good. It also plays around Flute. So Unearth is a black spell, right? Considers red, but sometimes they'll let that go. If they let the Consider go, then we can mill the Thassa's Oracle and unearth it, and then that can't be Pyroblasted. So as long as the pile's empty, which 2 Cyclers Consider Thassa empties the entire pile, then we can play around Pyroblast. And that also plays around Disruptor Flute on Thassa's Oracle. So those are generally the pieces of interaction. If it is a black version, they do have discard spells as well. If it's not black, then they don't have that. So we're just playing the standard blue-black tempo Doomsday list right now. This is the one we're playing. Sorry, they're taking a minute to sideboard, so I'm just going to look it over. We're playing the list that I've been playing really most recently. And yeah, so let's see if they're ready to play game number 3. Or 2. They are. This hand's not great, but it's fine. It has an answer to Pride. It has cantrips. And it's got mana underneath it. That's fine. Our hand does not have a fast Doomsday. So I want to Thoughtseize them here because I want to leave them with an Ocelot's Pride that I can pick off with Bowmasters. I want to take something scarier than Ocelot's Pride. So this is good. I'll take Hexing Squelcher. I'll leave them with Ocelot's Pride. If they draw a land, they'll probably slam the 2-drop, the Voice of Victory, which is terrifying. But if they don't draw a land, then they're going to Pride, and I'm going to get the Bowmaster, which is going to be sick. They did draw a land, so they're going to... I wonder if they... Yeah, they're going to play Voice of Victory. Okay. We do have a bunch of pushes that we can find with the Brainstorm here. And we can push on their turn. We cannot push on their turn, rather, so just worth remembering. I'm going to cast Brainstorm here. I'm trying to put together the extra land plus Doomsday. We can put back at least one of these and probably the Unearth. And then we can go land, go. We're going to take a little bit of beating here, but I think that's okay. We have an answer for Ocelot Pride, which is much scarier than Voice of Victory. They have Bombardment, which pairs really well with Voice of Victory, so we are under a little bit of pressure, but we got a little bit of time to find some clock. There's the Bombardment plus Pride. Yep. I am going to consider End Step because of this Deafening Silence. They're going to deal 2 or 3 and then sack for 2 more. This is a cool combo. Oh, there's a Voice of Victory in play. I can't cast Consider on their turn. That's actually a really cool combo. I was considering Voice of Victory for certain things, but not for my Consider. Let's see if we can find a removal spell for this Voice of Victory. That's not good. A removal spell for Voice of Victory plus Bowmaster on Ocelot Pride would be insane when they just have Static Prison in hand. I'm going to cycle. I know my life total's low, but that's okay. I'm just going to Bowmaster this Ocelot's Pride right now. to buy myself a little bit of time. Okay. Long goodbye for the Voice of Victory is insane. So I can long goodbye, then consider. I need them not to rip a creature here. If they rip a creature, I'm in trouble. They can bring back an Ocelot's Pride now. They'll attack, deal 5. I'm under a lot of pressure, but we have a little bit of stuff to do now. They're going to bring back Ocelot's Pride. And it's a 4/4. So we actually don't have time. I don't know why I thought I had time. I think we're just dead here. Yeah, I'm going to pack it up. Okay. Deafening Silence plus Voice of Victory is a tough combination of cards. Let's see if we can get it in game number 3. Days on the Play is a little bit better. They're not playing black. Trying to think of what I want to cut. I think I'm just going to cut the second Sewers. It's a little slow in this matchup. And bring in a Daze. All right. We have a Fawn for Deafening Silence. The real question here is whether we get Basic Island or not. And I think I am going to get Basic Island. Ponder, land, Tamiyo is good. I have black mana for Ocelot's Pride. Yeah, I think I am going to get a Basic Island here. They mold to 5. Maybe not now. On a mold of 5, I think Wasteland's a lot less likely. Because they need mana and spells. So I'm just going to actually get Underground Sea now that they mold to 5. The thing is like Wasteland's kind of like a spell, but it's not a threat. So if they're mulliganing, they're a lot less likely to be able to keep a Wasteland. Not that they can't, but they're a lot less likely to be able to. So let's cast Ponder. See if we can find some more mana. Doomsday. I'm going to shuffle these. I want the Doomsday, but that's the only card I want. This isn't great. I did shuffle a Ponder, so if they do have a Wasteland, they're going to fire it off. They don't. Okay. I can use the Wasteland here to Bowmaster, which is nice. Deafening Silence. I'll fawn the Deafening Silence. They're on 4 cards. I'm going to cast Consider. I don't want to cast Brainstorm because I don't want to use this yet, and then I'm going to Wasteland them. Let's see if they kept a light land hand. When they mull, sometimes they keep light land heavy threats. Okay. So we can cast Brainstorm here. They would blast it, I think, if they have one. Doomsday, Ponder, these are good. We can put back... I think Bowmaster at this point is worse than Long Goodbye because they're unlikely to have Ocelot's Pride. They would have just cast it. We'll shuffle. We just need mana. We do need to dodge a Disruptor Flute. Land plus Disruptor Flute would be pretty bad. A Dark Ritual's lethal. Let's see if they have a 2-drop. They probably do. We do have the Long Goodbye to clear it. Raptor. Okay, what's it going to hit? Ocelot Pride. Okay. We get a little bit punished for putting back Bowmaster. Bowmaster's really good here. I'm going to cycle. I have a fetch land. I'm just going to cast Doomsday here. If they... So I'm going to go to 8, then I'll go to 5. Then they can deal 3 if they have Bombardment. So I do need to consider bombardment. I'm going to build a consider unearth pile here. Edge, Thassa, Cavern, consider. So I go to 5. I die to bombardment if I guess I'm thinking about blast and I'm thinking about bombardment. I guess blast kills me either way, so I think I'm just going to go consider Street Wraith. So what does this look like? So I can start with Edge, then I can consider if they don't wasteland me. Okay, this gives me some options. So Unearth, Street Wraith, Thassa, consider, Edge. So the reason this gives me options is because if I cast Consider and they have Bombardment, I can just draw the Thassa's Oracle and cast it. Let's see what they have here. If they have Disruptor Flute, I just lose. If they have Pyroblast and they Pyro, I don't die. But it's close. Let's see if they flute. Ajani. Okay, we can beat an Ajani. This only makes colorless. What do they have? Okay. So they can deal 3. I don't die to that because I can just cast Thassa's Oracle. So we set this up in a really nice way. I don't know what they could have off red right now. Okay. So we set this up in a nice way where now we can consider, we can float blue, Edge of Autumn. We can consider and then just draw the Thassa's Oracle with 2 cards. Put this on top. And then we don't have to cast the, cycle the Street Wraith. So we got the trophy. Let's go. All right. Let's hop into another league. We're going to play the same list, but we got this nice little trophy here. I will see you guys in the next league. All right, we're here for round number 1 against Snappy. We are on the play. We opened a decent hand here. Not amazing, but decent. We have Tamiyo flip pressure into Dark Ritual to power out a Doomsday if we find it. We are a little susceptible to Wasteland, but sometimes them's the beats. Let's pass. See what they're playing. Underground or polluted Delta strategy. Basic Island. Ponder. Okay. A lot of the times this is like a show and tell deck. It could also just be the one island from a Delver deck. Could also just be like a control deck. Lotus Petal. Okay. Show and tell. Ponder. Okay. Yeah, likely. I mean, it's a combo deck, right? But it looks like a show and tell deck, maybe. So we need to convert off of this brainstorm into some counter magic. They shuffled. Okay. Second land's good. Second land means we can cast Doomsday if we find it all, and we can just win the game. Like, if we find Doomsday plus Daze, that's insane. Let's cast Brainstorm. There's the Daze. We can put back Tamiyo Murktide Regent, and then we can ponder looking for another layer of protection. That's not it. That is the Doomsday. Okay. So we have a kill next turn with Daze Protection. Let's see if we don't die here. You can also do something cool with Tamiyo. So we can cast Dark Ritual Doomsday. Let's say they tap out for a stock up, right? We can cast Dark Ritual Doomsday. We can Daze. If they force it, then we can crack Lion's Eye Diamond, pick up Doomsday, recast it. There's the stock up. We're going to let that go. And then we can cycle into some cards. This is kind of a really cool situation. So we have some really good redundancy here with Dark Ritual, Doomsday, Daze to protect it, and then the win. And then if we need it, we have... And the Edge plus Lion's Eye Diamond lets us go get Cavern plus Oracle, so we're completely protected if Doomsday resolves. And then if it doesn't, then we have a blue mana floating, and we can pick up and recast Doomsday, and then we can Edge into something. Likely Thoracle into Cavern the following turn. So let's show you. So we can go Dark Ritual, Doomsday. If they force, we have Daze. If they don't, they're just dead. Okay. Let's see if they have another force. They don't. Okay. So we can just win here. And it's completely protected because we have Cavern plus... Or Clue plus Edge of Autumn. So we can just go... Is there anything worth hiding? I guess we can just hide the Murktide Regents. Or we can hide Bowmaster. I think hiding Bowmaster is slightly better. So this is how we do this. So we go like this. And then we go Murktide, Bowmaster, Thassa, Cavern, Street Wraith. Then we float a blue. Pick up the Street Wraith. Cycle into the Cavern. Play Cavern on Wizard. And then we... I guess we're not hiding a Bowmasters because we're discarding our hand. Oh, no, we don't have to discard our hand. We can float a blue, pick up Edge of Autumn. We'll make another blue. And then we don't have to show them the Bowmasters. We have 2 cards left in our deck. Cool. We'll get game number 1 against Show and Tell. So we showed them 1 Murktide. No Bowmasters. All right, so we want Fawns. We want Dothies. And that's basically it. I didn't see red, but I'm going to bring in a couple of... I'm going to bring in these in case they have Tamiyo or Hexing Squelcher. And then we can cut some stuff. So we can cut the island. We can cut a wasteland. We can cut some Dazes on the draw. All the Dazes on the draw. And we can cut 1 Murktide Regent. And let's send it back. I think this hand is too weak. I'm going to mulligan. It just doesn't do much. This is much better. So we can put back the Unearth. We have Force of Will, Thoughtseize, and Doomsday. So we just need to find some mana now. Lotus Petal. Hopefully they don't have like a Force protected turn 1. I'll force whatever this is. Yeah, I'm just going to force this and then Thoughtseize them. Hopefully they don't have force backup. They don't. Okay. I won't jam if I draw a ritual. Ooh, Wasteland's very good. I'm just going to Wasteland them, and then I'm going to Thoughtseize them next turn. I could wait to get their blue land, but they also can just fetch a basic. Another Thoughtseize is great. We just need to find some mana. Veil would suck, but I think that's fine. Cool. I'll take the Force of Will for right now. They can't draw an Ancient Tomb and a Show and Tell. This Pyroblast doesn't interact with Doomsday, so I don't care about it right now. If they keep a Ponder, we can take Emrakul, shuffle the Ponder, which is kind of cool. They put a card on top. Could just be a cantrip. We'll Thoughtseize them again. If it's a Brainstorm, that's good. Sneak Attack. I'm just going to take the Sneak Attack. Again, I don't really care about this Red Blast. If I draw a Ponder or a Brainstorm, it sucks, but, I mean, it is what it is. If I draw a Dark Ritual, I'm just sitting so pretty. Okay, fetch land lets me surveil looking for third land. That's good. The one downside of not having 3 cyclers is from just casting Doomsday with a cycler in hand. You can't cycle into Thassa's Oracle to put in off of Show and Tell, which is like a little bit annoying, but that's okay. The nice part is if they Show and Tell Emrakul, that doesn't beat my Doomsday, right? Like if they just find Show and Tell off this Ponder plus land, they didn't shuffle. So if they just find Show and Tell off of this land and put an Emrakul and I Doomsday this turn, they're not going to be quick enough. And if they find Sneak Attack, they're also not going to be quick enough. Dark Ritual's good. So now I can Dark Ritual Doomsday. And then I can get Cavern, Thassa, Street Wraith, Consider, Unearth. Let me think for a second. So if they find a Consign, I'm just going to lose to that. But I think that that's fine. So let's do this. Let's actually, instead of... Let's put a Thoughtseize in here. Street Wraith, Cavern, Thassa, Unearth, Thoughtseize. And then we can kind of decide what to do here. So we can go Unearth, Thoughtseize, Thassa, this. So I do have to clear the pile because Blast killing Thassa is a problem. But if they just cast Show and Tell and put an Emrakul here, then that doesn't matter. Unless they have an Ancient Tomb into Show and Tell. Then I'm cooked. Okay, I am cooked. Maybe I played this poorly. Unless it's a Sneak Attack, and then they have to fetch cast Sneak Attack here. Okay. So let's cycle. And then let's pass. And then next turn I can Thoughtseize into Show and Tell. Or Thoughtseize into Oracle. I need to dodge Sneak Attack land activation. I can beat Show and Tell. Stock up. Yeah, stock up's fine. If they find Force of Will, blue card, and force the Thoughtseize, and then blast the Oracle, then I still have the Unearth. So I have multiple ways to kind of deal with what's going on now. I have Long Goodbye if they have like Land Squelcher. That can't be countered. Pedal. Okay. This is problematic. No, it's not. Okay. All right, so let's float a blue to disguise this cycle. Let's Thoughtseize them. They have double Pyroblast Ponder. Okay, so we just have to pass the turn one more time. And then dodge a sneak attack off the top. Okay, we just have to dodge a sneak attack. Show and Tell's not good enough. Sneak attack is. And now we have to dodge a consign. And that's it. Wizard, cast Thassa's Oracle. Hope they don't have a consign. It's one random card. They don't. Perfect. Cool. We got match number 1 in the new league. I will see you guys in match number 2. All right, we're on the draw against Def 1 Gaming. We have a good hand here, right? We have Thoughtseize, Tamiyo, Force of Will, so kind of a meat and potatoes blue-black hand. They have 61 cards, so it might be oops. Force of Will plus Thoughtseize hopefully is enough. They're on 4 cards. It's almost certainly oops. Thoughtseize is going to be great against them. Let's see if they keep a Thoughtseize. If they don't keep a Thoughtseize, we're going to put them in the dirt. If they do keep a Thoughtseize, well, then they can take Thoughtseize or Force of Will. All right. They are oops. Tapped land. This Thoughtseize is going to be really good. Dark Ritual means we can ponder next turn looking for a Doomsday. Let's Thoughtseize them. Take their fatty. Yep, there's the Spy. They have Force of Will. We have Force of Will as well, so I'm just going to take the Informer. They're playing a blue card. Ponder. Okay. So they have Force plus 1 unknown. They'll probably keep a blue card. Seems the most likely. They don't shuffle. Another Force is good. Let's cast Ponder. I don't think we need any of these. There's another Force. Okay. So now we have double Force. We could just put this Bowmaster and play there at 17. Their cantrip deck. I think I'm going to wait one more turn so I don't have to use the Dark Ritual. Okay. So now I'll just keep up double Force. I can hard cast Bowmasters in case I find a Doomsday. Let's play our Bowmasters. Yeah, they're going to get both our forces here. Oh, okay, they're not. Okay. We do look like blue-black tempo. I'm going to play Tamiyo out and keep this Consider with Force of Will. Tamiyo's going to find us extra cards to stay ahead. Their cantrips are a lot worse now. If they have another Force of Will, it's a problem. They don't. Okay, perfect. So now we can just force this. So we can crack Clue to flip Tamiyo plus Bowmaster here. So we'll Dark Ritual, Bowmasters them. Crack Clue. And then we'll flip Tamiyo. Okay. And then we can pick up something now. If we find a blue card, we can pick up Force of Will. Or we can turn it to a 1-turn clock. I'm just going to pick up Force of Will. They need creature plus blue card plus force. Okay. We'll plus Tamiyo. And then we'll play Murktide because if they have like a ground blocker, we don't want them to potentially find a way out of this. I'm going to leave Thoughtseize in the graveyard because I can pick it up next turn. So they need 4 mana, thing, and blue card. It's a pretty strong mold of 4. Okay, cool. We got game number 1 versus Oops. They're much more likely to pivot with this, whatever this list is, but I think that that's fine. We're going to bring in the Dothies. We're going to cut the Bowmasters. And then we need to keep Cavern in because they have Force of Wills in their deck. We can bring in Fawns and cut a Wasteland. And then we can cut a Murktide for another Fawn. We could bring in Consigns too. I don't know whether Consigns are worth it. Maybe. But I think this is fine. Okay. They're mulling to 6. Let's keep this. We got to survive 1 turn. We have quite a few good draws, right? We can draw a Dothy. We can draw a blue card. Let's see if we get Thoughtseized here. That would be the worst. Not getting Thoughtseized. Blue card. Unearth. I'm just going to jam. I need to not die now. I think I'm going to pick up a Dothy to cast next turn. Or Surveil Dothy, unearth it. So I can pick up a blue card. Then I can Surveil Dothy, unearth it. And then I can do the other stuff. Okay, let's try this. I need to not die, which is not guaranteed. So let's go Cavern, Edge. Sorry. Oracle. Edge, Cavern, Dothy, Brainstorm. So we can pick up a blue card. Then we can Surveil, unearth the Dothy. And then we can set up a future. a future Thoracle out of cavern. So let's surveil Dothy. Let's unearth it. I could have done that with Oracle too, but I think that this is fine. Cool. So we have a Dothy. Blue land consign would beat us. I don't know if they play that, but it would beat us. I'm going to force this. See if they force back. They don't. Okay. And then next turn, we can cast the Thassa's Oracle. If they mill us, we lose. So we can float blue, cycle this. And then cavern out an Oracle. All right, we got match number 2 against Oops All Spells. I'll see you guys in match number 3. All right, we're on the draw for match number 3 against J.A. Alicio. We opened up forced blue card, Thoughtseize Doomsday. We just need a little bit more mana, but let's keep. This Murktide Regent with force 2 fetch lands and Thoughtseize is also a perfectly reasonable threat, so this hand is kind of the meat and potatoes. Let's see what they're playing. Okay, they're playing a Planar Nexus deck. Map's fine. Thoughtseize plus Force of Will is going to be good against this deck. Mox Opal's fine. Cavern does not cast Thassa's Doomsday, which is a little annoying, but it's fine. Let's Thoughtseize them. We can take the Tezzeret. We have Force for command. They have Urza's Saga, which can be problematic. Let's see if they go get the 4-mana one at end step. If they crack for the tower. They don't. They're probably just going to play Saga out. Okay. We need some mana. Another Force of Will. Okay, let's hold up Surveil here. This is a little scary. They're reducing the number of artifacts they have, which is good. Hopefully they tap Saga for a threat. I don't think they will, but hopefully they do, because that buys us a lot of time. Petal. They're going to cast a spell. Candle lets them untap Urza's Saga, so we'll force that. If they have boots, I die if I cast Doomsday. We'll put this on top. Now we have a decision. Do they have boots or not? I'm going to not play around boots because I don't think I can afford to. They have 3, 4. Although, yeah. I'm not going to play around it. And I'm going to force pitch for this command. Hopefully they get greedy and they command and then try and activate Saga, like they tap out for command. So they have 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can do 6 and I'm at 7. So I cannot cycle the Street Wraith. I'm just going to put Street Wraith and Edge in my pile to bait them. So I'm going to put these as the last 2 cards. But I'm not actually going to use them. So Street Wraith, Edge of Autumn, Unearth, Thassa, Consider. And then if they have boots, I just die. If they don't have boots, then I don't die. Although, if they make a construct and then command for 2, I can't force it because I'll be at 1. So it's a little problematic. Let's see what they do here. I don't know that I had a way around it. Maybe I did. I could have just built another cantrip. Let's see if they have boots. Yeah, this is unfortunate that I'm at 1 lower life, that I'm not at 8, because I can't use this Force of Will effectively, depending on what they do. If they tap out for like a 1 ring, that would be excellent, but I don't see that happening. There's the Lotus Petal. I have a feeling they're just going to hold up command and kill me. I have to hope they want to use this floating mana. If they tap, they're just going to do it for 2. Okay. Yeah, we'll let this go. I need them to tap off 1 Lotus Petal so I can force. Oh, they use the command, though. Oh, if they find an artifact, I'm dead because I force, then take 6. Yeah, I can force, but then I take 6. Okay. Cool. Very close game 1. Let's bring in the Fawns. Let's bring in the Consigns. We have the Wastelands, which are good. Let's bring in the Dothies. Let's cut the Murktides. Let's cut the Bowmasters. Let's cut 1 Thoughtseize. And let's cut 1 Daze. Alright, let's try this. I could cut Cavernous Souls too, actually. So I could cut Cavernous Souls and bring in... leave a Daze in on the play. Just slightly too slow there. Okay. We have stuff. We just need to find some counter magic and mana. I'm going to cast Ponder on turn 1 because this Doomsday is much stronger than Tamiyo, plus maybe do something. If I do find a land off of the Ponder, then I can flip Tamiyo, but is that better? Maybe it is better. Okay. Yeah. Actually changed my mind, because if I go Tamiyo, then I go Ponder into land, consider. I flip Tamiyo. That puts pressure. I have Daze as a counter spell. Okay. Let's try this. Tamiyo, go. Urza's Tower. Let's cast Ponder. Let's find a force. There's a force. Okay. And then let's attack. Let's find a blue card in a land. Blue card's fine. Now we have Daze plus force. Three mana. That's not as scary. We can Daze whatever's 3 mana. Flush Striker, let's Daze it. I'm going to turn off auto yields because if they go Lotus Petal Needle, I'll force it. They don't. Okay. I'm going to draw off Clue, so I'm just going to plus this. I'm looking for another blue card so I can force plus consign. I can also cycle this on Earth. If they just cast one spell, I'll consign it. I could consign this, but I don't think that that's good. We'll let this go. I'll consign this. They can't have Flute here, so that's good. They can't get Needle off of the Saga in time. So I'll probably Surveil looking for a blue card if I don't draw one. If they just have Natural Needle, it's annoying. Candle, okay. Let's find a blue card. That's a Doomsday. Let's Surveil. We'll put this on top, and then we'll draw. Plus this to 8. And then we just have to stop them from killing Tamiyo. If they have like enough mana to Ugin somehow, it's problematic. Like if they go the good land into Ugin, it's a problem. Grim Monolith's fine. Three, 4, 5, 6. They only have 6 mana. Karn. We just let Karn go, right? And then we force the needle. Because if they don't, so they can go get needle, we can force it. The reason I'm going to do this is because if I don't do it and they have needle from hand, that's really bad for me. So I just don't want to give them the opportunity. They could flute. They can go get flute, then untap. But either way, we can force it. Like they can use this to untap Ancient Tomb. Portable hole. Okay. Yeah, Mox Opal's fine. We'll get the portable hole too. If they have flute as the last card in their hand, then they're going to get us. We'll force this. If they have flute, they can untap flute. Okay, pedal. All right, cool. So we should be good now. You just need a Dark Ritual. Lotus Petal doesn't do anything. Dark Ritual, Cantrip, Fetch Land are all... That's fine. So we just need to make sure there's a fetchable in the pile to Doomsday. After we Doomsday. There is. So Dark Ritual, Doomsday. So we'll put Island, Thassa, Street Wraith, Consider. Last card doesn't matter. Guess we'll get another force. Island, Consider, force, Thassa, Street Wraith. We can edge into Street Wraith. Play a fetch. We can Street Wraith into Thassa's Oracle. And then we can fetch and cast Thassa's Oracle with force backup, which they have no cards in hand. So, all right, we'll get game number 2. Let's go to game number 3 and see if we can take it down. On the draw, I could consider cutting a Daze for something. Do I want to cut Daze for something on the draw? I think not. I think I'm just going to keep this and send it back. All right, we open Fawn, Wasteland, Thoughtseize. I think this is fine. Keep. They cast Disruptor Flute. I'm going to Fawn this, pitch Brainstorm. I'm going to Wasteland them and cast Tamiyo. Now I can Thoughtseize, and then the following turn I can flip Tamiyo. A Saga would be good for them. Oops. Turn off auto yield. I accidentally hit F6. I don't know why. Okay. Let's attack. Let's cycle Street Wraith. Daze plus Thoughtseize is good. Let's Thoughtseize them. We could hold the Thoughtseize for the Dothy combo, but I think that's fine. Urza Saga's problematic. Portable Hole's problematic. I'm just going to take the Portable Hole. They can cast the Portable Hole next turn. So Urza Saga, if they rip lands, is going to be pretty problematic for me. I need them not to rip a land. I will Dark Ritual out of Dothy. I would love to find a Wasteland here. I would love for them to miss their land drop. If they don't miss their land drop, I'm in a ton of trouble. I probably should have considered not wastelanding that Ancient Tomb, but it just felt so good to wasteland it. Let's see if they tap out for something here. Or if they just make constructs. Their constructs are small. They're going to tap out. We get to daze this Tezzeret. Or this Kozilek's command. Yeah, we'll daze it. Now they only get one construct. We'll surveil. It gives them information, but I think that's fine. We'll put this in the graveyard. Let's attack. They can Mystic Forge now. Let's see if they make a construct or don't. They're not gonna. They're just gonna go get Mystic Forge. I would love a Consign or force draw blue card off Clue. They probably are going to get Lotus Petal. Map. Okay. So they're going to go get the 4 mana land, and then they're going to cast Mystic Forge. A Wasteland would be pretty good. Exile the top card. That's mana. Okay. Let's attack. We'll play out this land. I'm not going to draw now because there's nothing I can draw that matters. I need to like snag a daze on a 1 ring or something. That would be very good. Then I can cast the 1 ring. They're at 10. They can whiff on this stuff. It's not guaranteed. Like Mystic Forge is one of the worst cards in their deck. Fleshraker. Okay, this will resolve. Fleshraker is a problem. If they have command on top, it's pretty bad. Is this Tezzeret? Untap Mystic Forge. Oh, another Fleshraker. Okay. Yeah, that's probably the end of the game. I need Dark Ritual Doomsday, and then I can command to draw. Command plus Clue to draw. So let's draw off Clue. There's Doomsday. I need Dark Ritual now. So if I get a Dark Ritual off the command, that doesn't actually do anything yet. Disruptor Flute. So I could Expedition Map Wasteland. That's not good enough. Disruptor Flute on Mystic Forge is not good enough. Okay. Let's draw. Let's use command to flip my Tamiyo. Okay, I can win next turn if I survive. Let's see if I do. I don't like my odds. I do not like my odds. All right, we need some running lands on their side. Yeah. Is this already lethal? 4. I think this might already be lethal. I don't actually know. I think I'm just dead here. Let's surveil. I need a fawn. Okay, GG's. Lost to Mystic Forge. I generally like this matchup. It's definitely better as Turbo, but we just got into the dirt a little bit and we drew not quite as fast of a turnaround as them, but sometimes that happens with the matchup. So let's go to match number 4. All right, we're in match number 4 against Unstar. This hand has a turn 2 Doomsday, but nothing else. I'm gonna mulligan. This hand's better. Let's put back one of the 2 brainstorms and see what happens here. Misty Pass. Let's cast Thoughtseize. I will Daze a Veil of Summer if they're a Veil of Summer deck. If they're not a Veil of Summer deck, then this Thoughtseize should be good. If they Brainstorm, I think I'll also Daze it. Okay, so Caracas, Swords, Loam, no Wasteland. We'll just take the Force of Will. They'll probably just cast the Riddler. Oh, they have a Wasteland. Okay. Now they have Loam Wasteland. That's kind of scary. That's a good draw. Let's ponder. I don't want any of these cards. That's a good draw too. They do have a Swords, but likely they'll cast Loam here. Here's the loam. I'll let the loam... Oh, beanstalk. Okay, I'll let that resolve. I'll pass. Hopefully they cast loam or Riddler, and then we can daze the swords. If they cast loam or Riddler, then we can daze the swords, which is really strong. They are. So we'll get Swamp. We'll cast Bowmaster. I'll daze this. I don't want them to fix their mana. Then I can Thought Seize the swords. If I find a Dark Ritual, I can do everything. Lotus Petal also lets me do everything, so Thought Seize them. Force a Negation. Okay. Pitch Quantum Riddler. That's fine. So now I can cast Bowmaster. And now they have 1 swords for Bowmaster, but they don't have 2. Let's see what they cast here. Leyline Binding, maybe? That would be pretty bad from us. Prismatic Ending plus swords. Okay. They have no threats in their hand, it looks like. Let's brainstorm. Unearth. None of this does anything. I'm going to Wasteland the white-green. It cuts him off Uro. It also cuts him off one of the types of cards. You could Wasteland Caracas if you want to try and draw into... You could Wasteland Caracas if you want to try and draw into Tamiyo, but I don't know that that's something that's happening. I'm going to try and turn on a faster clock here. This seems really silly, but I'm going to cast this Thassa's Oracle. It turns it into a 3-turn clock. And right now my hand just doesn't do anything. Murktide Regent's a good draw. So it's not good yet, but it's good in 2 turns, potentially. Like if I find Murktide into blue land, then I have that, and they have to deal with these cards. So they put a card on top that's scary. Brainstorm, okay. Are they going to Dredge Loam for any of these draws? Probably not. It's unlikely that they whiff really badly, but it's possible. There's a Leyline Binding. Yeah, we're probably out of this game. We'll draw Murktide Regent. We'll attack for 1. It does put him on a 1-turn clock if we find a land, so that's not nothing, but they had everything they needed to line up against this. Now a Dark Ritual lets us cast Doomsday. But our Thassa's Oracle's in play, which is not good. 'Cause 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 ' We sort of need to draw a land like now. Another up the beanstalk. Okay. Brainstorm. Yep. Say we're below like 5% to win this game at this point. Like another Leyline Binding draws 2. This land's wastable. That's very bad. Swords is not bad for us. It means if we find a land on top, there's a chance it survives. Okay, let's put this on top. And now we just need to fade another removal spell, which, again, is unlikely, but possible. They're dredging. Okay. Loam. Yep. Wasteland us. So we need to dodge Force of Will, Leyline Binding, Swords. Unlikely. But let's do what we can to try and win this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll concede to a Force of Will here. Okay. So Beans got game number 1. Let's board out the Murktides. Let's board in the Bitter Triumph and the Long Goodbye. And let's send this back and see if we can kill him this time. All right, we're on the play for game number 2. We opened not a great hand, though I think we can do better. Okay, this hand's better. Let's put back Dark Ritual. Let's cast Tamiyo. I will force a removal spell on it. They do have Leyline Binding, that's problematic. They do have Prismatic Ending, that's problematic. That resolve, that's good. Now another cantrip. Flips it. Days Orcish Bowmasters are good cards. We'll keep those. And now I can let them remove it if they have another removal spell for it. I will daze like a beanstalk. Okay, I'll let this go. Because we can still Bowmasters if we daze off the Underground Sea. Let's just attack. We do know about Loam Wasteland, but I think that's mostly fine. I'm going to draw off Clue here. I want to incentivize them to Swords this Tamiyo. Because I have another one. So if they Swords Tamiyo here, that's good for me. Leyline Binding is also fine. Do I daze this? I don't think so. Let's consider. Let's put this on top, and then let's cast another Tamiyo. So now we have some interaction for what they're doing. That's nice. We get to daze this. That means they don't have another piece in their hand. If we can dodge one turn, then we have a high probability of picking up Force of Will. So we need to dodge one turn of removal spell. Yep, there's a Brainstorm. We don't get to punish with the Bowmaster, but if they're willing to force the Tamiyo, it means they have nothing in their hand right now. And if they remove the Tamiyo, then this Bowmaster might be good. So there's a Crocus. Okay. Let's see if they upkeep bounce it. It'd be interesting. Okay. We have a blue card for Force now. Let's Surveil. We'll put Thas in the graveyard. And then now we will Bowmaster with Force of Will back up. I will kill this. And then we have Force and then Bowmaster next turn. Yeah, Ponder's fine. I would have liked to let that resolve, but I think that it's just too scary. They shuffled. Okay, we'll let this go as well. I think Force plus blue card is just too high value. I'm going to play Tamiyo. See if I can bait the Crocus. They don't use it. That's good. If they upkeep it, I can Brainstorm. Okay. So let's go to combat. We'll Brainstorm. We have Force of Will back up. We'll put the Ponder on top. I'll keep the Thoughtseize for next turn. I want to keep Bowmasters up here. I'll force this. If they have Fawn back, that's annoying, but it is what it is. If they cast the Beans here, I can Bowmaster. This looks like a Beans. Loam. Sure. All right, we'll cast a Bowmaster. They haven't had they've used multiple Brainstorms, so that's fine. Let's cast Ponder. I'm going to shuffle. I'll Thoughtseize them. Swords that's fine. They probably just have lands in their hand. Okay, Spell Pierce. Let's plus this and say that you have to beat a Tamiyo in 2 turns. They have 2 turns to beat a Tamiyo, and they've used 2 of their 4 leyline bindings. They put Flooded Strand in the graveyard. If they find another binding, that's bad. Wasteland, okay. That's not the end of the world. They have 1 more turn to find... Let's cast Brainstorm first. Dark Ritual Doomsday. We'll keep that in our back pocket. We don't need that right now. I'm just going to pass and threaten the ultimate. They have 1 turn to draw Leyline Binding or Prismatic Ending. Okay, they didn't. Sick. Took a pretty scrappy game against them. Let's go back to the sideboard. I think this is fine. I liked how everything kind of lined up. We could have Consigned to Memories for Leyline Binding. That's not bad. But I'm not sure anything's worth cutting. Maybe we bring in 1 Consign and cut 1 Wasteland. Wasteland's good against Caracas. It's good if they fetch non-basics, but they have Loam in their deck, so our Wastelands are a lot worse than theirs. This hand is not good. This hand is better. Let's put back this Street Wraith. Okay. I'm going to cast Tamiyo here. I know I'm playing into swords, but swords means that our Bowmaster's better, so there is something to be said about that. If they have Caracas from hand natural, that's annoying. They do. Okay. Let's see if they cast a main phase Brainstorm here. They don't. Okay. Let's play this so we have the option to Surveil or Bowmaster. If they tap off the Caracas, we could find another cantrip and just flip Tamiyo right away. That card's fine. Let's kill it. Oh, wait, we can't kill it because they have Caracas up. Let's Surveil. Ponder's good. Let's Ponder. Let's keep these. And let's pass. We can use Bowmaster to threaten the Lavinia. Make them swords it. They'll play Beans, which means we can Bowmaster Lavinia. It'll force the Caracas, or it'll force swords on the... Oh, okay. Maybe an Uro or a Teferi. Uro, okay. Well, let's make them do something here. Force or Caracas it. Caracas it means that we get to flip our Tamiyo. Yep. So now we can go Tamiyo. We can go Brainstorm. put back this and this. Attack. They can't escape Uro yet. They can binding the Tamiyo. Lavinia's fine. There's the binding. Okay. Is it the Bowmaster or the Tamiyo? Tamiyo? Okay. Let's surveil. Another Tamiyo. Let's consider here. If they bounce the Tamiyo, then we kill the Lavinia. They bounce it. Let's kill Lavinia. We'll discard Dark Ritual. Let's see if they have Veil. Okay. Swords, Bowmaster. Yep. Makes sense. A Wasteland for Caracas would be good. Okay. I think we're really far behind here. I mean, not I think we are really far behind here. We've drawn just too many lands. 6 lands is a lot in our 17 land deck or whatever. We have as many or more as the control deck. This attack could be a chump into Felia, which is a little annoying, but I think that we just have to send it. We also want to keep making them tap out off this Caracas. So we'll cast Tamiyo. They'll bounce it. Okay. We need to draw a Brainstorm probably to put back these cards. They just don't matter that much. Here's Uro. Yeah, Uro's a problem. Riddler. Ponder. They're probably looking for like a consign here to keep the Riddler around. Let's see if they found the consign. They didn't. Okay. Yeah, we're just drawing too many duds. I'll take one more turn, but after that, I'm going to call it quits, and we'll move on to the last match. Let me know if you think that we went anywhere wrong in this match. I don't think we did. I think we played our cards kind of how we should have played them, and it just didn't pan out, but be interested to hear if anyone sees anywhere that we might have been able to play a little bit differently. So brainstorm into like a protected Doomsday would probably still be enough from this point, but that's about it. There's a Wasteland. Wasteland doesn't really matter much. Brainstorm. There's a Brainstorm. All right, let's find a protected Doomsday. I'm not going to keep Tamiyo. Okay, there's a protected Doomsday. I'm not going to keep Tamiyo because I wanted it for Force of Will. We've seen Spell Pierce, so let's do this. Let's fetch. And then less Dark Ritual Doomsday with Force backup. We can play around the Spell Pierce that we've seen. Well, actually, they have double white up, so they don't have that. All right, let's Force pitch Tamiyo. Okay, so we're going to lose to Consign, and I think we're just going to have to be okay with that. We don't have a way to get multiple cards in our hand, so I think we just want to try and clear the pile with... Cavern. So we'll mill the Street Wraith because the Street Wraith costs us life, and if they remove this plus attack us, they could potentially get us within lethal. So we'll put Thoracle, Edge of Autumn, Ponder, Street Wraith, Consider, and then we'll hold this Cavern in our hand so they don't know about it. We'll leave this back to block, and then we need to dodge a Consign. Okay. Good thing we set this up how we did this. We're going to take 6, so we're not going to be able to cycle that Street Wraith. Wasteland doesn't matter. It matters if they still have Spell Pierce, but it doesn't matter for anything else. Let's see if they find a Consign or a Force of Will. Or a Fawn. They might have had one of those and no extra blue card. They didn't cast Riddler, so my guess is they have some sort of interaction. Put this in the graveyard. Cast Ponder. And then we'll cycle into Oracle, die to a Consign, die to an Endurance. Oh. Did we get it? Nice. Let's go. That's why you don't concede early. That's sick. Okay, cool. Let's go into match number 5. All right, we're on the play for round number 5. Let's see what we open. This hand doesn't have black mana. Cast Dark Ritual. We can do better. All right, this hand's better. Let's put back the basic island, and we have Dark Ritual, so if we get Wastelanded, that's fine. We get looking for a Doomsday or more cantrips. There's a Daze plus Brainstorm plus Doomsday, so let's pick up Daze Doomsday, and then we can go from there. I don't want to pick up Brainstorm first because I don't want to make Daze relevant interaction if they don't Wasteland us. If they Thought Seize us, we'll just Daze this. Let's see if they have Force of Will, if it's blue-black, and they just opened on their basic swamp, or if it's not. If it is, then we can cast this Murktide really quickly. It's not? Okay, cool. So I think we're just going to build a Brainstorm pile from this spot. Bowmasters doesn't kill us. Wasteland doesn't kill us. And so I should have played out the land first, maybe, but they're not representing Daze, so it doesn't actually matter. So let's just get Edge of Autumn, Brainstorm pile. And now we have the extra card in our hand, so we can play out the Underground Sea to play around Wasteland. So we can go Thassa, Consider, Edge, LED, Brainstorm, play this out. Oh, we dazed. We can't. That's right. We dazed the Thoughtseize. Okay, cool. So if they wasteland us, we're still fine. If they him us, we're still fine. So we can beat a him to Turok. We can beat a Bowmaster. It doesn't matter what they hit with him. Dothy's fine. Cool. We'll take game number 1 against Mono Black, it looks like. Let's cast Brainstorm. Let's put back Murktide Consider. Let's play Lion's Eye Diamond. Let's cycle Edge of Autumn. Crack this for blue. Draw Consider. Mill the Murktide Regent. And then cast Thassa's Oracle on an empty deck. We'll take game number 1 in match number 5 against Mono Black. Okay, against Mono Black, what do we like? So we have a couple of options. We showed them some creatures, so we could board out the creatures, just bring in the removal, and try and play Doomsday again, and I think that's what I like. I'm going to bring in the Fawns to stop discard spells. We'll cut the Murktide Regents. We could leave in Bowmaster for Bowmaster. We can cut a couple Wastelands because the Wastelands aren't good. And then we can cut like a Thoughtseize and a Daze on the draw. And I think this is a very good configuration of Doomsday. We could also cut Cavern of Souls instead of a Daze, maybe. Let's try this. So when you win game 1 with Doomsday, but you show them creatures, they have to respect the creatures. So I expect them to leave some removal in. So I want to be on Doomsday. That being said, on the draw, it is interesting to be on creatures because if they Thoughtseize us on the draw, Doomsday is a lot less good against discard spells, right? This hand's fine. We have a pitch card in Tamiyo. We have a Dark Ritual to speed us up. We just need to find a Doomsday. If they Thoughtseize us, I'm not going to force it. I'm just going to let it go. They can take Force or Daze. Neither of those backbreak us. Dark Ritual's probably the best card in our hand. Dark Ritual's probably the best card in our hand, but the Daze. Okay. So let's draw. Brainstorm's a good one. Let's play out Sewers. Let's find another land. I'll take a Lotus Petal. I'm not excited about it if they have Wasteland, but it's better than missing a land drop. There's the Wasteland. Okay. Oh, this is great. Okay. I'm going to let Dark Confidant resolve. And then I'm going to Tamiyo Brainstorm. Let's try and secure another land drop. We kept the card on top, which is probably why they didn't Wasteland us. There's another land. Let's put back Lion's Eye Diamond, Dark Ritual. Flip this, plus this. Play land. So now we have a decision. We can take ourselves off Force of Will, but protect the Tamiyo, and I think that's where I want to be right now. A Bowmasters is brutal, but I think that protecting this Tamiyo is kind of our number 1 strategy. We'll block. It only attacks for 1, so Bowmasters doesn't kill it. I'm going to turn off auto yield. I will cycle in response to Wasteland. Okay. I'm not going to cycle now. Taking us off of Force was a little brutal here. We still do have the Bowmasters in our deck to deal with Bowmasters. Shieldred's Edict. Okay, that's a problem. think we're going to lose this game. I'll block the Dark Confidant again. Okay, they're going to pass. This is good for us because now we have a chance of finding a blue card. So if they edict here, we can cycle looking for a blue card. Let's cycle. Okay, there's a blue card. They're going to ping Tamiyo. I'll force this. And now we just need a Bowmasters to secure a win in 2 turns. Likely it's not going to be enough. Nethergoyf. Okay. Yeah, I doubt this is going to be enough. Because now they get to attack. Deal 1 to Tamiyo. It goes to 8. Play a Nethergoyf. Our clock's just kind of messed up. If we draw a Doomsday, though, we can win. So, him. Edict. Okay. We have an out of drawing a Doomsday still. We'll just block one of these. Let's see if we can draw a Doomsday. We might have 2 draw steps at it. Bitter Triumph. Okay. Well, Bitter Triumph is nice. So now we can kill this. And then we can block the Orc Army or the Dark Confidant. They drew another Nethergoyf. Okay. So we still beat, unless they have another Bowmaster, Doomsday is still lethal here. Through a Wasteland. Let's see. I'm not beating another Bowmaster anyway, so we'll just block here. Let's see if they Wasteland plus play a Goyf. Yeah. They have another Bowmaster. All right, let's attack. Dark Ritual. Let's draw off clue. Here's the Bowmaster. Oh, Dark Ritual. Bowmaster. I think we can beat this without a removal spell. Oh, double Bowmaster. Yeah, we're not beating that. So go to 6. Does this win? We go to 3. So how does this work? If we Doomsday, we go to 3. Then we go to 1 off edge. That flips Tamiyo. Yeah, we're dead. Really close. If they only had 1 Bowmaster, we actually would have beat that. Interesting. Okay. Let's run it back and try and open a really good hand. We're going to be on the play for game number 3. Dark Ritual Doomsday is obviously ideal. All right, back for game number 3 on the play. Let's see what we do. This is not a good hand. This hand is not great. Maybe it's fine, though. Put back Thassa's Oracle. Cast Ponder. Okay, let's keep. Put back Thassa. Let's see if we can find some good ones with this Ponder. Not good enough. Dark Ritual's good. Let's see if we get Wastelanded. Or if they Thoughtseize us. 2 most likely situations. They could have a Dark Ritual bear. Dark Ritual. Whoa, we just shuffled that away. All right, they could have a Dark Ritual Bowmaster. Ooh, Bowmaster's not bad. I'm going to shuffle. And then I'm going to play a Tamiyo. Let's see if they remove this or if they just cast a Bowmaster main phase. If they don't cast a Bowmaster main phase, it's pretty good for us. Cast another Nethergoyf. Come on. Push. That's perfect. So if they don't have Dark Ritual Bowmaster, we can unearth Tamiyo and flip it. Bowmaster's good. Let's unearth Tamiyo. We get demolished by a Dark Ritual Bowmaster. Demolished. Okay, they don't have it. Cool. So we can put back... We can't pitch this Thassa. So I'm just going to put back Dark Ritual... Or Thassa Bowmaster. If they have an Edict, that's also very bad for us. Edict is pretty bad because we don't have much of a game plan outside of this Tamiyo. If they just Bowmaster, that's good for us. Moonshadow, okay. Wasteland. Upkeep Wasteland. Okay. The question is whether we should plus this or pick up Brainstorm. And I think that the way that we win this game is we pick up Brainstorm. Let's put back Fawn Thassa. And let's surveil away the Thassa. We have to find a Doomsday off the next turn. But if we find one, I think we're winning. Let them kill Tamiyo. Yep. We can't protect Tamiyo for multiple turns with the fetch lands and stuff. Doomsday. Okay, so now we have Bowmaster protect from Bowmaster. We have Surveil. We have Hardcast Fawn. Their Surveils are huge here. Bowmasters. Yep. If they have another Bowmasters, I don't think we're coming back from that either. We will Bowmasters their Bowmasters. Let's Bowmaster. This does grow their Moon Shadow. I'll take the 1 and leave this Bowmaster open to... I'll take the 1 so I can double block if I draw Doomsday. This card doesn't matter. Let's see if they have an Oppo agent. They don't. Okay. We got to find a Doomsday. Bowmaster. Okay. Yeah, we're pretty cooked here. Because we go to 5. We found a Doomsday, but we can't win. So if we cast Doomsday, we go to 5 and we take 5. We'll put it on top, but I think that we're dead on this one. We'll fawn this. They can't attack with Bowmasters at least. You have to block the 2/2. So if we draw a Ponder, we might be able to win. Okay. So let's Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. We lose to a removal spell. So we can go Consider, Unearth. Thassa. So we go to 3, we go to 2. Then we go to 1. Okay. Well, we gave ourselves an out. Let's just put this, and Unearth. And hit done. We're dead to a Fatal Push or an Edict. We can go Street Wraith, Edge, Unearth, Thassa, Consider, cast Ponder down to 2. If they have a Bowmaster or an Edict, or like a Bowmaster or a removal spell, we're dead. So we'll go Unearth, Thassa, Consider. No. We go to 2. And then we consider Mill Thassa, draw Unearth. We're at 1. And we're dead to a removal spell on this Thassa. Let's see if we get it or not. There's the removal spell. Here's the Edict. GG's. All right, so we finished 3 and 2. I still love this deck. We opened a little bit weaker hands against this deck. This matchup's also a little bit tough. But overall, it was a super sick league. I hope you guys enjoyed the content, and we get to live another month and a half with Tamiyo at least. So super excited about that. And I will see you guys in the next video this Thursday. Thank you.